welcome to this old Yoda. Today we've got the long, or maybe not so long, awaited comparison between the 2008 200 series Land Cruiser and the 2008 200 series LX570. I can tell you right now, the biggest difference is in the wheels. Those wheels are enormous for off-roading. They may get changed out, but this car is going to have some drastic changes done in the next 24 to 48 hours. Those will get revealed soon, but this car will no longer look the same. So let's go ahead and start this thing off. The white 570 has 197,000 miles, we'll round up, whereas this silver Land Cruiser has got 190, we'll round up. Both of these cars perform phenomenally. Both have been dealer maintained pretty much since new, and everything works as it should. I can tell you that the biggest difference out of the box in terms of daily drivability and daily performance is the white 200 series, or I should say LX570, has automatic height control. And what does that mean? Well, both the rear and the front are hydraulically controlled height. So you'll be driving down the highway and you'll feel the front lower and then the back lower. And it's really for aerodynamic feel. And it's pretty interesting. When you get off the highway, you'll often feel kind of front rise up, back rise up, and it'll be this very direct thing, and it happens just randomly, and it's pretty cool, and it's exactly what it's supposed to do. When you're off-roading with this thing, potentially if you get some off-road tires, you can raise it up, and as long as you don't go over, I believe, 15 miles an hour, you can have a high suspension off-road vehicle. I don't know that I'm going to try it out with this vehicle. It is my wife's car, so you guys will have to petition that in the comments in terms of off-roading if you want to see it off-roading. But this has got everything you need off-road setup except for the lift. We'll get to that another time. But in terms of the engine, we've got the 5.7, same 6-speed transmission. Both have tinted windows. Both had that green Land Cruiser 200 series tint. Both are extremely reliable. Some of the features that the LX570 has are pretty cool, and it starts right there in the grill. And what do I mean? We've got this little camera right here. We've got on the mirror over here another camera, as well as radar sensors and everything you need. Unlike the Land Cruiser, it's just got regular grille with a regular mirror. What does that provide us on the 570? Specifically, that's something that my wife loves when she transitioned to this car, a car of this size. It provides you a little radar view and a camera view in your dashboard of everything that's right in front of the car and right on the side of the car. So if you're parking into spots and you're not great at chunk aligning in the world, for you Minecraft fans, if you're not great at the chunk alignment in parking spots, that will help you and show you exactly how close you are to the curb. Every time you stop at a stoplight or you're rolling around and you hit below, I think, 8 miles an hour or something like that, it comes on. So it's a pretty handy little system. At first we thought it was broken until we realized there's no mirror on this side, so you won't see anything from that view. I'm sure on the newer ones they've added, I believe they've added on, even on the Land Cruiser, they've got the cameras underneath and all of that. You can see the underneath view as you're rolling down the road and doing off-roading. So really quickly, we'll do a kind of quick inside tour and comparison, and we'll do a little walk around here. One of the cool things about these cars, this has got the steps on it still. So traditional Lexus steps with the little silver accent. Again, this is going to be slightly different look very soon. Everything about this is your traditional Lexus LX570 Land Cruiser. Everything is exactly as you expected. I think this is the only dent we have is an off-roading nick from a previous owner not realizing, and maybe this owner, who knows, I'm not going to plead the fifth of that one, we'll leave that to you guys, misjudging the height control or the height that you had there. So all these cars are used for moving our bikes around, so it's something that we enjoy doing. We'll start out looking at the Land Cruiser. One of the things that most people don't realize is the Land Cruiser is essentially a luxury car. At least until you get to the LX570. The 200 series comes with the wood trim. I've put in the little plug in there that connects into the outlet in the back with the little push of the dashboard that comes live. I use that pretty often, so it doesn't look perfect in there. This is kind of how I daily drive my car. I didn't want to change anything. I wanted you guys to see where everything was. That actually air freshener needs to go in the garbage, so excuse the mess. But yeah, this is how I use it. This car does not have Bluetooth to the radio in terms of playing music. So what I've got going on, I've got a little Scotch Bluetooth, and I've got the auxiliary cord connected down there. You probably can't see it. It's not very bright in here. It's a gray interior, but it works well. I just have the radio tuned to auxiliary. I actually use the Bluetooth phone through the radio. My phone transition between the two perfectly fine for phone calls through the radio and music through the Bluetooth, so I've never had a problem with that. I don't really need to upgrade or change the system. I'm extremely happy with how it works. And I'm showing you this little area because this is kind of the brains of the off-roading center. Everyone knows that you've got the crawl control button down here with the speed control, heat warmers on. It's been pretty cold down here in North Carolina lately with some snow, so we've been enjoying our seat warmers. Pretty simple setup, crawl control, everything I need. There's no height control in this car. I think the one luxury feature I've got on the 200 series in this car is I've got the cooling box for my kids, food, and when I go mountain biking, things like that. So this is my daily driver. It is the condition I drive it in every day. In terms of seat and leg room, I'm 6'4", and I've got the seat pretty far back. My kids in car seats can sit back there. I'm 6'4", I cannot sit back there myself, but I know someone probably 5'10" could sit back there. If I needed to sit back there, I'd just put the seat up. I wouldn't be too uncomfortable. I'd still be able to sit, but my kids can sit in the car seats just fine. Does not have captain's chairs, just a regular bench seat with the normal Land Cruiser back in there. Take a look at the LX570. Now, I say the Land Cruiser is a luxury vehicle, and by some standards, and depending on where you are in the world, this would be a luxury vehicle. But then we've got this wonderful machine over here. Cousin, twin, whatever you want to say. But immediately you open and you're greeted with a completely different look. It starts off with the wood trim on the door, wood trim on the steering wheel. You've got the wood trim over there across the door, the light leather interior. This came with WeatherTech floor mats when we picked it up. It's absolutely phenomenal. Even the dash gauge is a little cleaner and crisper and just looks nicer. Everything about this car screams luxury. Some slight differences in the dash. Actually, I'll go around to the other side so we can take a look. But immediately you can see some of the differences in what this car looks like, what the intended purpose of this car, or the intended audience of this car, I'll say. Both cars have the same purpose and capability. Interestingly enough, the one thing I found strange is that the passenger seat is the most worn part of the car. Just driver's seat isn't worn too much, but the passenger seat is. But so yeah, the like I said, the wood trim, it's all just screams luxury. We had to add in the white. Let's move this out the way so we can see better. We had to add the white power strip here. Biggest difference is where the auxiliary port and cigarette lighter port are in this car. The same Scotch Bluetooth adapter here, connected down into that auxiliary port down there. Slight different location, but you'll see right away the biggest difference is this center strip right here. You've got the speed control for the crawl control. You've got the height control. You've got I'm sorry, this is the high-low transfer case, so you can shift from 4 high to 4 low. You're in all-wheel drive high, all-wheel drive low. This is your height control, and then this is your comfort control for your suspension. So you can go comfort, kind of center line, and then sport. We choose comfort most of the time. I don't know if my wife even set it up. I play with it when I drive sometimes. I think the last time I changed it to comfort and left it. Height control to go up or down. We really don't use either of these much, other than to just see what it does here and there. If we were going to go off-roading, we'd flick it into a high position maybe I'll be allowed to do that one day. Just a slight difference in the way the dashboard's laid out. I think it provides that luxury feel. It kind of just looks nicer and cleaner. The thing I'll say is the seats are slightly different. Biggest difference here is those headrests are aftermarket headrests, I believe, with DVD players in them. We'll look at those in the back. I've got to dive into those, to be honest with you. I haven't had time. It worked once and haven't worked since. I'm sure it's a fuse. I need to track it down. Not a huge deal. My kids, we don't really like to have our kids stuck to the TV in the car anyway. But this has slightly different aspect to it. I can pull them out. The armrest slides out for if you sit a little further closer to the steering wheel, you can move those out. Pretty cool feature. Do not have that in Land Cruiser. This is the traditional armrest, so there's a lot more storage in there than I have in my 200 series. But overall, I love this interior. I think it's cool. If you ask me, I'm a big guy, I'm 6'4". I personally like the way the Land Cruiser fits over the 200 series, over the LX570. One of the biggest differences, I can show you really quickly, is where this is. And the Land Cruiser just kind of has a slightly different contour to it. The LX570 is a little squared off. And we'll take a look at the 200 series really quickly in terms of what I'm talking about here. And you'll see the same thing right there. It just kind of has a slightly different angle to it. I don't know, I just like the way this angle, this little padded surface sits on my leg. It's a really small thing, but that just provides a little more comfort for me when I'm driving. My leg sits on that. Other than that, there really isn't much difference between the seats. They're pretty comfortable. I'd say the Land Cruiser seats are, for me, again, just more sporty, more lax. The LX570 has a little bit more support. Maybe it's lumbar, not really quite sure how to explain it or what it is, but there's something a little bit more supportive about that seat. So if you're looking to kind of compare and contrast seat size, they're the same. You're not going to find a bigger or a smaller car. Both ample space, both these seats are a little different here. My wife drives this. I was sitting here, and you can see kind of the same leg room between the seats for the car seats. Again, we've got the WeatherTech floor mats. You can see the extension cord running into the back to get to the outlet. Again, very subtle differences in the interior, but each one of these subtle differences, this is the DVD player, each one of these subtle differences kind of provides an extra luxurious experience. Again, regular back area, kind of folded seats in the 200 series style, Land Cruiser traditional style makeup. So there we go. Just kind of a brief rundown look at each one of these cars, what they look like inside. And again, Land Cruiser still has that steering wheel, wood steering, but something about it just isn't as luxurious. You know, you're missing the that huge giant wood trim there. You've got a little strip of it here in the door. On the LX570, these are kind of located over there. Just subtle differences in locations of switches. Again, we'll look at the center console. There's a huge cup holder, no switches. Everything is just in a slightly different location. Center console is just a little different, right? I mean, everything functionally is exactly the same. This is an IoT dashboard mount suction cup. It isn't really, you know, something that's off-road where it just holds the phone. I don't use my phone for much other than GPS here and there, and I don't stare at it. I don't need to be perfect. If I go off-roading or anything like that, I take the phone out of there and just stick it in my pocket or something, or there. But once in a while, if I need to trail up or something like that, I'll leave it in there. When I go for my other cars, I'm going to have something a little bit better than this long term. But again, this is my daily driver. This is really how I get around, and same way my wife gets around. So we don't bash these cars up too much. We spend a lot of time living family life in these cars. So I don't know. I think that we couldn't have chosen two better cars. Like I said, look out for some cool things coming to this LX570. We're actually on our way to take it there now. We won't have it for a few days, and yeah, more coming soon. So thanks for tuning into This Old Yoda. Make sure you like the channel. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share it with your friends. We've got more coming soon. Got some adventures planned. Sorry it's been so long, but you know, holiday season kind of gets the best of all of us, and need to take some time off and just enjoy life a little bit. Hope you're enjoying your life. Hope you're finding your next adventure. Thanks for tuning into This Old Yoda. We'll talk to you soon. Have a wonderful, exciting, adventurous day.